welcome to another exciting edition of Reading Ranch. Before we get started, we just did a live version of Reading Ranch at another anime con in Manchester last week, and it was awesome! If you went to it, thank you so much for joining us. I hope it didn't traumatize you too much. You can watch that video on our channel. It's up right now, the full hour, so if you need to kill some time at work and you're really bored and you want to listen to something really horribly dirty, enjoy! Now let's get into it. My name is Katie Hunt, and I take my mother's more questionable literature and give it a 5-minute review based solely on the content inside and what is written on the back. However, we're doing a special edition of Reading Ranch Live this week, and the book that I have chosen to do isn't a dirty cowboy novel. It's actually a book that I just finished reading literally 20 minutes ago by a famous YouTuber like ourselves. We're not famous. Like a famous YouTuber on here. I think you might know him. He goes by the name of Tyler Oakley, and he just wrote a book called Binge. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the better books that I've read in a while, since I think Mamrie's book that came out, You Deserve a Drink, so kudos and snaps. Binge is an autobiography that Tyler Oakley just put out of his life. Little stories, behind the scenes things. It's awesome. It's such a good book. It's real. I enjoy it. I thought it would only be good to give it the old Reading Ranch treatment. So, let's get started, shall we? This is Binge by Tyler Oakley. Pop culture phenomenon, social rights advocate, and most prominent LGBTQ+ voice on YouTube, Tyler Oakley brings you his first collection of witty, personal, and hilarious essays. For someone who made a career out of oversharing on the internet, Tyler has a shocking number of personal mishaps and shenanigans to reveal his first book. Experiencing a legitimate rage blackout in a cheesecake factory, negotiating a tense standoff at the White House with a White House official, crashing a car in front of his entire high school, in an Arby's uniform, projectile vomiting while bartering with a grandmother, and so much more. In Binge, Tyler delivers his best untold, hilariously side-splitting moments with the trademark flair that made him a star. You mean queen of the internet. He is queen of the internet. Tyler Oakley is life. You need to subscribe. Like now. Right now. Stop watching this video and subscribe. Tyler talks about everything. He touches all the bases of real life. Relationship problems, hookups, dealing with stress and just eating disorders and anxieties, divorce. His parents are divorced. And there's just so many issues in here. I mean, I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil too much for you because I really want you to read the book. Look, cute Tyler pictures. Look how cute he was. Oh my god. Also, the biggest secret of them all, his real name isn't Tyler Oakley. I mean, it is Tyler Oakley, but his real name is Matthew. So, Matthew Tyler Oakley. See, even saying it, you're kind of like that. Now he's Tyler. I, a chubby 9-year-old with a bowl cut, parted down the middle, obviously had zero charm. Luck was in short supply when it came to nervously attempting to sell a $10 ticket for a $5 worth of Little Caesars pub-ready pizza. No matter how I spun it, I found the deal impossible to close. I did, however, receive some small donation from neighbors willing to support the cause, but unwilling to commit to attendance. Whatever. Fuck 'em. More pizza for chubby me. And he goes on to talk about his jobs at other little places like Arby's and McDonald's, and how he was pretty much the boss of McDonald's. He ruled that place with an iron Big Mac. One of his employees just left work by going out the drive-thru window and piecing out in the parking lot. He also goes on to give us a list of his ranked Disney princes, starting at number 12. It was a tie with Prince Philip and Prince Florian. I didn't know that Snow White's prince had a name. I thought he was just... Then the Tramp. Number 10 is Prince Charming. Again, I didn't even know Snow White's prince had a name. I thought he was just some dude that showed up in the woods and sucked face. Number 9 is John Smith. Number 8 is Beast. Number 7 is Flynn Rider. Number 6 is Pinocchio. Number 5 is Eric. I love that the reason that Eric is not in the top 3 is because that he killed Ursula. 4 is Li Shang. 3 is Naveen. 2 is Kristoff. And number 1 is Aladdin. I actually don't know who my number 1 prince would be. I have to think about that. He went to the University of Michigan to get his braces put on, and fell in love with the person putting his braces on at the young, tender age that he was, and decided that licking the guy's finger was a way of communicating to him that he liked him. It's like, Tyler, no. There are quite a few cringeworthy moments in this where you're just like, oh god, you were such an awkward little thing. But it makes it funny. It's like you can embrace the fact that you were at one point in your life. Everybody was. And obviously in this book he talks about coming out, which isn't always an easy process. I mean, he says in some cases he had a very supportive friends group and family group to an extent. His father apparently was not the biggest fan of his coming out, which is sad. And I guess that as we read on in the book, you find that they've rectified things, which is great. He actually goes over it wonderfully and talks about how, you know, you have to be yourself. You can't let other people rule yourself. And if you stick to your guns, eventually, hopefully, people that you love will come around and just accept you for who you are, and that's all you can hope for. And if they don't, then you need to live your life, and nobody should be able to stop you from doing that. He goes on to talk about how he was a camp counselor in high school, and some parent called about giving their kid caffeinated gum. Okay, I can understand if your kid was like 6 years old and being pissed about that, but like, you're in 7th grade. You can't have a stick of Jolt gum without your mom or your daddy calling and getting all mad at your camp counselor. Tell mom and dad to relax. He also thinks that Halloween is perfect, and Halloween is perfect, so. And 20 things he'd do as Beyonce. For example, he'd go door to door, pretend his album was coming out, sing the national anthem to the locals, call up Apple, polish my Grammys, promote art pop. Please promote art pop. Following Tyler Oakley on Twitter. So, and he goes on to even talk about how fame wasn't all it was cracked up to be for a while, and trying to find that balance between where Tyler is and where life needs to slow down and realize that you can't be pushing yourself working all the time. But the biggest chapter in this book, I feel like, that I relate to the most, and the one that he's promoting so much that I see on his social media, on Twitter, on sneak peeks that he put into Snapchat, is a chapter entitled The One That Got Away. And I actually really relate to this chapter. I don't really want to give too much away of it, but it's about a relationship that he had that lasted for a long time, and he ended up losing himself a little bit in the process. And in the process didn't want to lose the person that he was with because he was scared of losing them. And I'm sure anybody can relate to that experience, like having your first true love and trying so hard to making it work and having to come to that realization that it's just not going to. It's probably the best chapter in the entire book. It's the longest chapter in the entire book. And the point he makes is perfect. Binge, you get 5 cowboy hats. There are serious moments, there are hilarious moments, and then there are just moments where you're like, wow, you know, you hit the nail on the head, Tyler. This is Binge by Tyler Oakley, and you can pick it up at any store imaginable because it's literally everywhere right now. If you liked this review, please make sure you subscribe, hit the like button down below, leave a comment in the comment section. You can follow us at Atomic Blue Prod on Twitter, and you can follow me on Twitter at Juggles_Geese. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this book review. I know it's not our norm. Don't worry, we'll get back to the dirty stuff later on. My name is Katie Hunt, and I will see you later, cowboys.